Regret clouded my judgment when I opened the door for Pastor Eric. Not him. Not the man who performed baptisms for my children and blessed our marriage. Yet, there I stood, barefooted in a house that echoed with an unsettling quietness, exposing my unexpressed vulnerability. The consequences of that fateful decision still haunt me as I toss restlessly in the darkness, my eyes fixed on the ceiling. A deed I vowed never to commit, not to Ross, not to myself, and certainly not with a man adorned by a cross, was done. Now my mornings are tainted by a gnawing unease, and Pastor Eric's coat remains stubbornly draped across my couch. My phone buzzes. It's Ross announcing his early return. I feel as if I'm holding my breath. Before continuing, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to each of you watching this channel. Your subscriptions are deeply appreciated. If you're new or returning yet unsubscribed, I encourage you to press that button today. Despite its size, it holds significant importance for me, keeping this channel active and thriving. Don't forget to like the video and share your opinions in the comments below. I read each one carefully. Let's return to the night in West Virginia. I am Cynthia, age 50. I have been married to Ross for 30 years, beautiful yet complex, primarily faithful. He is a good man, the kind who prepares my coffee just right and knows when to comfort me with silence after a difficult day. We live outside Morgantown, West Virginia, in a humble abode with a garden, enjoying tranquility. We are also members of a small Baptist church downtown, where Pastor Eric has been more than just our spiritual leader. He's been a friend. He is 52, charismatic, and well-respected. Until last week, I would have vouched for him as a man of God entirely. Ross was on a work trip to Ohio at that time. He was due to be absent for 6 days prior. Before his departure, he playfully warned me, "Don't disintegrate without me." The initial 3 days passed quietly. I read, prayed, and cleaned. However, by the 4th day, a sense of emptiness started to pervade. I struggled to sleep, yearning for Ross's familiar snoring near me. I felt a void. That Thursday, I attended our midweek church service alone. After everyone had dispersed, Pastor Eric invited me to linger for a moment of prayer. He confided that he sensed my burden was considerable. It was then the conversation began. In his office, we talked about how challenging his marriage had become, with Sister Marlene no longer even looking at him affectionately. He admitted, "Even men of God feel overlooked sometimes." This realization stirred something within me. I should have left. But instead I responded, "I empathize more than you realize." We remained silent for nearly an hour, just exchanging stories, just sharing our wounds. That night the storm raged, heavy rain and thunderous noise. At 9:45 p.m., there was a knock on my door. It was Pastor Eric, dripping wet and looking anxious. I inquired if he had woken me. He assured me he hadn't and stepped inside. We shared tea and conversation, but the unspoken words carried more weight than our spoken ones. He took my hand, and I conceded. It wasn't about passion or love. It was about vulnerability. Now, the man who guards my soul's mysteries left a fragment of himself in my home. My husband Ross is back early, and I'm unsure if I can meet his gaze again. Ross arrived home earlier than anticipated. His smile illuminated the room as if nothing amiss had occurred. Yet, something had taken place. Something I concealed within my eyes and veiled behind a trembling smile. He embraced me. I recoiled subtly, enough to be noticed. "I've missed you, darling," he said. "I've missed you too." The words left a taste of remorse on my tongue. I saw Pastor Eric's coat left on the couch's armrest. I inquired, "Is that yours?" Ross replied with a quick affirmative nod. He had dropped by during the storm, just to check up on us. I forgot to return it. Ross chose not to probe further, showing trust in me. 2 days slipped by. I evaded church, mirrors, and myself. Yet Sunday arrived, bringing with it my due judgment. I sat next to Ross on the 3rd pew. Pastor Eric delivered his sermon from the pulpit, as if nothing untoward had occurred. His gaze fell upon me momentarily, yet that brief second felt eternal. My palms grew clammy, my legs quivered, and I struggled to breathe. After the service, Deacon Miller called Ross aside. I prepared to leave alone, but I was stopped by a tap on my shoulder. "Cynthia," Pastor Eric said, "may we speak in private?" For a brief moment, I hesitated. I thought it unwise. Please. He requested only a few minutes in his office. I consented. Foolish. Weak. Perplexed. We remained silent. Same chairs, same room. Yet everything felt altered. Eric couldn't sleep, he mentioned. Our past actions he regretted. They were wrong. I fixed my gaze on the bookshelf behind him. Then why did you do it? Because I felt noticed, he responded. By you. He leaned closer. Inform me of your wishes, Cynthia. Should I confess to Ross? Should I abandon the pulpit? No. I murmured softly. Keep away from me. His phone vibrated. He looked at it, then his expression shifted. It's Marlene, he said. She's been acting strangely lately. Distant. She requested counseling. My heart sank. I felt a sense of closing in. That night, I tried to rest beside Ross. But his consistent, tranquil breathing only increased my chest discomfort. I've been contemplating, he spoke in the dark. Maybe it's time I retire early. Resume our shared activities like fishing and traveling. I miss being home with you. My eyes filled up. That sounds pleasant. Are you crying? No, I had to lie. Just tired. The following day, I received a call. Greetings, Cynthia. This is Marlene, the wife of Pastor Eric. My stomach nodded. I wish to have a private conversation with you, she said, woman to woman. May we meet? I nearly dropped the phone. Why? I asked. There was a pause. I've discovered something, she said. We met at a secluded cafe off the main road. It was one of those places that played soft gospel tunes and had an aroma of aged wood and cinnamon. Marlene was already seated, sipping on half-drained tea, gazing out the window as if expecting a divine sign. When she spotted me, she smiled, but it was not a genuine smile. It was a restrained, practiced expression that women often wear when their hearts are breaking, yet they refuse to fall apart in public. Thank you for coming, she said. I took my seat opposite her, my hands shaking under the table. She hesitated before speaking, but decided to tell me what she'd found last night. A secret discovered from Pastor Eric's nightstand. Diary. My mouth grew dry. He wrote about her. Her voice faltered. Not by name, but I recognized the way he described her. A woman with a gentle tone. A woman who listened. Who provided something I can no longer offer. I swallowed forcefully. He's been distant for quite some time. She continued. But after reading those lines, I understood I had lost him much earlier than I suspected. Tears filled her eyes. Cynthia, tell me the truth. Please. Was it you? The weight of silence bore down on me. I looked away. I couldn't lie any longer. Yes. That one word transformed everything. Marlene pushed back her chair, stood up slowly and murmured. I thought you were my friend. I never intended for it to happen, but it did. She left without another word. And just like that, the secret was no longer mine to bear alone. Days drifted by in a haze. Marlene never returned to church again. Pastor Eric announced his break to concentrate on his personal relationship with God. And I? One evening, I sat opposite Ross at our dinner table, unable to eat or breathe. I have something to tell you, I said, and he looked up from his food, his eyes already knowing. It occurred while you were away, I admitted, confessing my mistake, a terrible, painful one. His face remained unchanged, no shouting, no anger, just quiet, steady heartbreak. He rose, went to the bedroom, gathered his belongings, and left without uttering a word. For the first time in 30 years, our home felt like a foreign place. I sat in the silence, trying to pray but unable to find words. After 3 months, Ross returned, not for forgiveness or forgetting, but to start again slowly, cautiously. We are still trying, but things will never be the same as they were before. Betrayal doesn't always stem from a kiss. Sometimes it starts with a conversation, a quiet understanding, a faint fissure in the fortress of allegiance. Once it commences, halting the torrent that ensues becomes difficult. This burden I shall bear till the end of my days. Not only the remorse, but the wisdom. Never let emotional isolation drive you into spiritual darkness. If this tale resonated with you, your insights in the comments section would be greatly appreciated. What course of action would you have chosen had you been in my place? Have you ever encountered a moment of frailty that altered your life irrevocably? Please remember to like, distribute, and subscribe to this channel. Your backing keeps these narratives alive. Thank you for tuning in.